Welcome. We've got some thrilling Arsenal news lined up for you, so stay tuned until the end to catch all the latest updates. And don't forget to leave 300 likes to keep us motivated in bringing you the latest Arsenal updates. In the swirling cauldron of Stamford Bridge, Arsenal nicked a hard-earned point from a proper London scrap, holding 10-man Chelsea to a 1-1 draw that keeps the Gunners top of the pile, albeit only 5 points clear, with a brutal December fixture list looming like a monster hangover after a night on the lash. Missing their two first-choice centre-halves, Gabriel Magalhaes still nursing a groin strain from Brazil duty and William Saliba cropped in training, Mikel Arteta had to cobble together a backline with loan signing Piero Hincapié and young Christian Mosquera, while Mikel Merino played up top like a bloke dragged out of the pub quiz to make up the numbers and still bagged the equaliser. The first half was all blood and thunder, Anthony Taylor dishing out yellows like confetti at a wedding, until Moises Caicedo went in studs up on Merino's shin, proper horror tackle, sock turned crimson and VAR rightly told Taylor to upgrade it to red. 90 seconds later, though, Arsenal were level. Bukayo Saka did his usual magic down the right, whipped in a peach of a cross, and Merino, still bandaged up like he'd been in a bar fight, climbed above everyone to nod it home. Cue Limbs Akimbo in the away end and the roof nearly coming off. From then on it was one-way traffic, the Gunners laying siege to Chelsea's goal like the Light Brigade with a point to prove, Declan Rice bossing midfield and Saka giving Reece James kittens. The patched-up defence stood firm, chances rattled the woodwork, but it finished all square. From the treatment room, the sidelined Gabriel Magalhaes summed it up perfectly with a single heart emoji under Merino's Insta post and the message, "Take the point and make it good on Wednesday." Jose Mourinho speaks out about Gunners nick a point in Bridge, blood and thunder. Merino the unlikely hero as 10-man Chelsea hold firm. In the fog-shrouded cauldron of Stamford Bridge, Arsenal eked out a gritty 1-1 draw against a battling Chelsea side reduced to 10 men, a result that keeps the Gunners clinging to the Premier League summit but only 5 points clear, with a December docket that could chew up lesser squads like a ravenous pie at a matchday fry-up. It was the sort of pulsating London derby where the banter flies thicker than the pre-match pints, Arsenal dictating play despite a defensive injury crisis that'd have the club physio reaching for the smelling salts. Missing their towering centre-back duo, Gabriel Magalhaes sidelined by a nagging groin tweak from international duties and William Saliba out with a training ground knock, Mikel Arteta was left shuffling the pack like a cabbie rerouting through the Blackwall Tunnel. In stepped low-knee Piero Hincapié and the raw Christian Mosquera to man the fort, while midfielder Mikel Merino was shoved up front in a tactical punt that paid dividends, the Spaniard netting the leveller in a game that swung like a pub pendulum. The opening gambit was pure enter-end mayhem, Anthony Taylor waving cards about like a market trader flogging knockoff watches, as both sets of blues snapped and snarled in the November chill. Arsenal pressed with the ferocity of last orders punters at the bar, choking Chelsea's engine room and forcing Enzo Maresca's young guns into hoofs upfield that sailed into the shed end like misplaced Christmas crackers. Then, as the half hurtled towards its denouement, the fuse lit proper. Chelsea's Ecuadorian pitbull Moises Caicedo lunged in like a demolition derby driver, raking his studs down Merino's shin in a challenge that painted the turf redder than a guardsman's tunic. Taylor initially brandished yellow, but VAR upgraded it to crimson and sent Caicedo slinking off with a hangdog look of a schoolboy caught bunking assembly. Yet just when Arsenal smelled blood, Chelsea struck first. Reece James whipped in a wicked corner and Trevoh Chalobah rose like a routemaster to bullet a header past David Raya, sending the Matthew Harding end into absolute seams. 90 seconds later Arsenal were level, and what a riposte it was. Saka jinked down the right, slung in a peach of a cross, and Merino, still bandaged up like he'd been in a bar brawl, climbed highest to nod it home. Even Jose Mourinho, watching from his Portuguese perch, couldn't help but tip his hat. That Merino lad? He's got the heart of a lion and the nous of a fox, takes a proper whacking, still gets up and buries it like a proper centre-forward. Reminds me of the Warriors I had at Chelsea. Arsenal have a serious player there. From the restart it was one-way traffic, the Gunners laying siege to the bridge like the Light Brigade with a point to prove. Declan Rice bossed midfield, Saka gave Reece James absolute kittens, and the patched-up defence of Hincapié and Mosquera scrapped like alley cats in Whitechapel. Chances rattled the woodwork, Sanchez pulled off wonders, but 10-man Chelsea somehow held the line. Lurking in the treatment room, Gabriel Magalhaes still found a way to lead, a single heart emoji under Merino's Insta post and the message, "Take the point and make it good on Wednesday." Crazy week for the team. Classic big man no fuss, just pure backing for the lads who'd battled through the carnage. Arteta, ever the Basque pragmatist, refused to sugarcoat the injury nightmare. Gabriel faces more tests and still some weeks out, with a festive fixture pile-up that could turn the Emirates into a MASH unit. A point at the bridge with half a team missing? You'll take that, stick it in the locker, and go again. In the harsh glare of a December dawn, this Stamford stalemate is a point earned the hard way. Chelsea defiant, Reece James imperious, but Arsenal's grit shining through. Derbies don't come much tastier. Dust yourselves down, lads, the title scrap's only just heating up. Enzo Maresca drops the hammer. What Blues fans dreaded hearing about Reece James. In the swirling blue haze of Stamford Bridge, Chelsea skipper Reece James was the absolute rock amid the storm, bossing the midfield like a proper London cabbie navigating the Blackwall Tunnel during rush hour, even after his midfield mate Moises Caicedo got his marching orders and left the Blues scrapping with 10 men against a rampant Arsenal. It was one of those proper derbies where the air's thick with verbals and the odd flying elbow, but James kept his cool, threading passes sharper than a Brixton barber's razor and whipping in that peach of a corner for Trevoh Chalobah to rise like a double-decker and nod home the opener. James, that blue-blooded Hammersmith lad who's worn the armband like it's sewn into his kit, was pure class from whistle to whistle, composing the middle of the park when chaos could have reigned, leading by example with the grit of a Geordie pit pony. He wasn't just filling in, he was dictating, his set-piece sorcery turning the tide for a hot minute and silencing the away-end scarves-twirling mob. But let's not kid ourselves, mate, for all his swagger, Reece's injury ledger reads like a horror novel. Hamstrings pinging, knees buckling, the lot. Fans have been holding their breath every time he laces up, fearing the next twinge could sideline him till the clocks go forward. Enter Enzo Maresca, the Italian gaffer who's got the Blues ticking like a Swiss watch, or at least trying to amid the squad rotation circus, dropping a post-match bombshell that had Stamford Bridge faithful reaching for the aspirin. Speaking to the press pack outside the tunnel, where the floodlights still hummed and the echoes of chants lingered like fag ash on a bar stool, Maresca didn't mince words on his captain's heroics. James delivered a fantastic performance, he said, his voice carrying that no-nonsense edge sharper than a Stanley knife. But then the kicker, another 90 minutes against Leeds? No. It is a no. The reality is no. It was a great performance, but we need to manage Reece. It's the sort of pragmatic call that gets a nod from the old heads in the stands, but leaves the younger lot fuming like they just missed the last tube home. Maresca's not daft, mind, he knows Caicedo's suspension leaves a gaping hole in midfield, bigger than the potholes on the old Kent Road, and Leeds United, scrapping like terriers in the relegation dogfight, could turn Stamford Bridge into a proper scrap on Wednesday night. Daniel Farke's lads might be bottom feeders on paper, but Yorkshire derbies don't read the form book. They come at you with the hunger of lads chasing a post-match pint. So who's stepping up to fill those colossal boots? The Blues squad's deeper than the Thames at high tide, thanks to all that Abu Dhabi dosh sloshing about, but it's no small ask. Cole Palmer, that silky scouser who's been moonlighting as a wizard up top, warmed the bench against the Gunners but didn't get a sniff. Now he could slot back into the hole behind the front line, pulling strings like a puppet master at a Punch and Judy show if Enzo Fernandez drops anchor in the deeper role. Andre Santos, the young Brazilian pup with feet quicker than a pickpocket on Oxford Street, is likely to get his marching orders from the gaffer too, adding some fresh legs to the engine room. And let's not forget Malo Gusto, that French flyer who's been James's understudy at right back and hasn't put a foot wrong. Superb cover, he is, bombing forward like he's late for the last train to Paris and defending with the tenacity of a London bobby on the beat. Chelsea won't half miss Reece's midfield nows, mind you. He's as comfy pulling strings in the centre as he is overlapping on the flank, a proper all-rounder who'd grace any pub 11 from Putney to Peckham. But with Gusto holding the fort and the likes of Fernandez marshalling the middle, Maresca's got options aplenty. That hard-fought point against Arsenal? It slotted Chelsea 6 points adrift of the Gunners at the summit, turning the title race into a proper London ding-dong with twists waiting round every corner like a cabbie shortcut. The Blues are no longer the also-rans, with their Club World Cup bling still gleaming and a checkbook that's seen more action than a Black Friday sale. They're dark horses proper, nay, outright challengers in the eyes of the punters who've shelled out for season tickets. Maresca's got him grinding gears against the big boys, from City to Liverpool, without the meltdowns of yore. Arsenal's slip-up at the bridge only underscores the madness at the top. Arteta's lot have proper wobbled in the spotlights this term, shipping a defeat to Liverpool and scraping a draw with City earlier on, like a dodgy firework that fizzles out mid-bang. It leaves the Premier League summit feeling like a game of musical chairs on the M25. Anyone could grab the throne if the music stops at the right or wrong moment. For Chelsea, providing the injury gremlins keep their noses out and the squad stays ticking over like a well-oiled route master, there's no earthly reason Maresca can't steer this ship into trophy waters. In the cold light of a December dawn, with the mist rolling off the lee like a ghost from Dickens' fever dreams, Maresca's verdict on James is a stark reminder. Football's a brutal mistress, dishing out glory 1 minute and hospital passes the next. Fans feared this moment, the hero of the hour benched to stave off the inevitable crock, but it's the price of longevity in a league that runs on rocket fuel and prayers. Rest up, Reece, the bridge will be waiting, scarves aloft and pints raised, for your next captain's charge. Thanks for watching Arsenal Time. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Continue following the Gunners' journey with us, and see you in the next video. Come on, you Gunners!